how's it going? Today's video is going to be my drugstore makeup starter kit. I am so excited to be filming this video because it is something that I have wanted to put out there for a really long time. This video is perfect for people just kind of, getting into makeup a little bit, or for teenagers, or basically people that just don't really know where to start because makeup can be very intimidating. So basically, I'm going to be talking about products from each makeup category, and this is what I would recommend to somebody who is looking to do a full face of makeup with only products from the drugstore, and all of these things are my favorite. So let's do this. Let's jump into it. Okay, so first there is something called primer, and this is what you put on underneath your foundation, and it just kind of helps prep your skin and get it ready for makeup. If you are just getting into makeup, I don't think you need a makeup primer. I think your money is spent better elsewhere, but all I will say is that use a really good moisturizer. Just whatever you are using that you love for your skin, make sure you moisturize, let it sink in for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then go in with your foundation. So your first actual product I would recommend is a foundation. If you have oily, normal to oily skin, I would recommend the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour with Comfort Serum Foundation. This is a skin perfecting full coverage foundation, and this is one of my absolute favorite foundations. It gives the skin an absolute flawless look. It has a lot of coverage, so if you have acne or anything you need to cover up, I would highly recommend this. It is an amazing foundation. It is under $10. If you are looking for just a lighter coverage, maybe you have drier skin, or you just, have beautiful, youthful skin and you don't need a lot of coverage, I would recommend the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. Both of these are amazing foundations from the drugstore, and so just depending what you're looking for, I would recommend these ones. And I actually happen to like both. I have normal to dry skin, and I like this if I want more full coverage, and I like this one if I'm just looking for like an everyday on-the-go type of foundation. Next, I would recommend a concealer, and even if you're going to skip foundation, if this is not something you're ready to be putting all over your skin, you definitely need a concealer. My favorite is from Maybelline. This is the Super Stay Better Skin Concealer and Corrector, and this just has a very, very nice full coverage to it, but it is not too cakey and it's not too heavy. So what I like to do here is I have two different shades. I have number 10 and number 20, so I like to use number 10 for underneath my eyes to really brighten up that area and cover up any dark circles. And then I like number 20 because it actually matches my skin tone, and so I will use that on blemishes and whatnot. You definitely don't need to have two concealers. You can get away with just using one, but just throwing it out there in case you're wanting the full meal deal. But yes, this is an amazing concealer and it'll get the job done. Next, you will also need a powder. I think whether you have dry, normal, oily, whatever type of skin you have, you definitely need to be setting your foundation and especially your under eye concealer with a powder. I love this one from L'Oreal. This is the True Match Gentle Mineral Powder. It's a great powder. There's actually a lot of really good powders at the drugstore. I also love the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I just actually am out of it at the moment. But I think when you're just getting into makeup, you just need one powder. You can use that all over your face to set everything in place. You can just use a big fluffy brush, and then you can just use the little sponge to pat it underneath your eye. But yes, just get a nice powder. It doesn't have to have too much coverage in it like this one. This is more of like a sheer powder, but it'll just set everything in place and get you ready for bronzer. Speaking of bronzer, so next thing that you'll want to be grabbing is a bronzer. Bronzer for me is like essential. I feel completely ghostly and not healthy if I don't have bronzer on. So I have two here that I wanted to mention. The first is from Rimmel. This is the Natural Bronzer Waterproof Bronzing Powder. I cannot tell you how many of these I have bought since high school, like probably like 15 or 20, because there was a time this was all I could afford when I was a young gal, and I would only buy this guy, and I still love it, as you can tell. It really does, bronze up the skin beautifully. It's not overly orange and it's not overly gray. It's right in that nice neutral zone, so you can use it as kind of like a contour, and by that I just mean people like to chisel out this area to make things look a little bit more defined. But I recommend, if you're getting into makeup, just using a bronzer brush, something that maybe looks like this, and going into this area of your cheek and going like this. Great, that's all you need. And then I also wanted to mention this guy. This is a newer bronzer to me. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This, if you can, splurge a little bit, I would highly recommend this one. It has the most beautiful satin finish to it that it's honestly one of my favorite bronzers, whether that is high-end or from the drugstore. So if this is something that you are willing to spend your money on, I would recommend this one, but Physicians Formula is more expensive. It is just a more expensive drugstore brand. The next thing you will need to start off your makeup collection is a blush. This is from Milani, and this is the Rose Powder Blush in the shade Tea Rose. These blushes are absolutely beautiful. I would recommend just kind of like a pinkish nude type of shade, just something that your cheeks would actually naturally flush if you were like out in the cold or if you were like a little bit warm. This is the type of shade that my cheeks would go, so this is what I like to use. And this is something that I could use on a daily basis and be perfectly happy. It really gives you that like healthy, natural, happy look to your skin. So this is an amazing blush. And yeah, if you're only gonna have one blush in your life, definitely get something in this type of like natural pink tone. Okay, so the next product is optional, but I just wanted to mention highlighter. So for those of you who don't know, highlighter is something that if we're gonna put blush right on the apples of our cheeks, which I should have mentioned that, right on the apples of your cheeks, and just brush it backwards, we're gonna take highlighter and put it on the very highest point of our cheekbones, and when the sun or light hits us, it just has this beautiful reflection to it. And it is not necessary. You could just put on your blush and go on with your day, but highlighter really is beautiful and it gives you that kind of like extra oomph. So I did want to mention one that I really like, and this is the Maybelline Master Highlight by Face Studio Highlighting Blush. And I love this shade. This is in the shade 01 Nude, and it really has just such a pretty nudie peach shine shimmer to it. So you could use this as just like a blush and highlighter in one, or you could use your blush and highlighter on top of it, but it really is stunning, and it, you know, I just love it. You can also get away with using this as an eyeshadow as well, so it really can be like a 2-in-1 product. But yeah, this is a great little highlighter from the drugstore. Next, for eyebrows. You definitely want to be filling in your eyebrows. You don't do anything too crazy. Just follow the natural line of them and give them a little bit of definition, especially on like the middle to outer area. Go a little bit, you know, more defined out there, and make sure as you get to the inner corner, you just leave things, you know, looking quite natural, because the last thing you need is to be looking like you've like used a Sharpie for your eyebrows. That's not a good look. But what I would recommend to kind of start off in the eyebrow world is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is awesome, and mine is in the shade Brunette, in case you are curious. So this is just a double-ended pencil, and it has a really great little spoolie on it, so you can use it to brush out your brows, get them in like the general shape that you're looking for, and then you just use the little pencil side and do little brush-like strokes in here. This is an amazing drugstore pencil. This is very similar to a high-end one that you can find at Sephora, so I highly recommend this, and they have a really great shade selection as well. Another optional product is a clear brow gel. So this one is from Milani. I love setting my brows. I think that my eyebrow hairs are just kind of like naturally unruly, so I really like to have some sort of gel to kind of keep them in place. But if you don't have that issue, don't even worry about it. But I just wanted to mention this brow shaping gel from Milani because it really is a great little addition after you're done your brows. And I just find that if I use a brow gel, my eyebrows look, you know, fresh all day long, you know? Okay, for eyeshadow, you guys, I was going through my collection, and there are some really great eyeshadow options at the drugstore, but I did just want to say that if you are looking to buy one eyeshadow palette to use on a daily basis, this is the area where I would splurge. This is where I would save your money up or ask for your birthday or, you know, put it on your wish list to get a palette, like a high-end one from Sephora. There are so many awesome ones out there, and I think for eyeshadow that you don't go through it that quickly, so if you spend $50 on a palette, it really, really does, you know, last you a long time. And I just think at the end of the day, the quality that you're going to find from Too Faced or Tarte or Urban Decay or Smashbox or, you know, all of those high-end brands, it's just better than the drugstore, unfortunately. But I also understand that that is just not an option for some people, and I totally respect that. So there are a few things that I wanted to mention. And the first is that use your bronzer as a crease shade. So take a nice big fluffy brush, something like this, and just put that all into your crease area with your bronzer shade. Just a really nice neutral transition shade, and it's just going to add a little bit of depth. And you're good at just leaving it like that if you want. But I did want to mention this e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette. So this is $10, I believe, here in Canada. And it has an array of 6 beautiful, beautiful shimmery shades. And so if you put that bronzer into your crease area and you used one of these all over your lid area, you are going to have such a stunning look. And these shadows are so pigmented and pretty and shimmery, and I really, really like them. So this is an excellent option if, you know, a high-end palette is not in your budget. Or maybe it's in your budget. You just don't want to spend your money on makeup like the rest of us. And I couldn't make this video without mentioning the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. I mention these all the time on my channel because they are absolutely incredible eyeshadows. So exactly like I said with the e.l.f. Palette, that if you are just looking to have like one eyeshadow, I would highly recommend getting one of these, putting it all over your lid, buffing your bronzer into your crease area, and you will be good to go. A couple of my favorite shades from the L'Oreal ones are Tender Caramel and also Amber Rush. Amber Rush is a beautiful bronzy rose gold type of shade, like one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. And then Tender Caramel is a little bit more like cool toned, and it has like, it's like a bronzy taupe, both stunning. Eyeliner is definitely optional when you're just kind of getting into makeup, but I did want to mention too, just in case you guys are looking to experiment. The first one is from L'Oreal. This is their Color Riche eyeliner, and the reason why I like this is because it comes with a little smudgy guy on the end, so I think that this is super nice to take this dark kohl pencil, smudge it all, or just like put it all against your lash line, and then take the little smudgy end and smudge it out. And I just love the way kind of like smudgy eyeliner looks, so this is a great one. And this is not overly soft, so it's not going to transfer up if you have slightly hooded eyes like I do, but it is a really nice black pencil. An amazing liquid eyeliner from the drugstore is Physicians Formula. This is the Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum, and this is such a nice eyeliner pen, and it will give you that perfect, precise winged eyeliner, and this is a really, really great one to practice with if you are just trying to get into the winged liner thing. But yes, great liner, whether like for all levels of makeup. And you definitely need a mascara. My favorite is from Maybelline. This is their Lash Sensational Luscious Full Fan Effect. This mascara is seriously incredible. You guys all have to try it out. I don't know what it is about it, whether it's like the way that the lash is like, or the formula, I don't really know, but it is just so good, and I love it. So I highly, highly recommend this mascara. And lastly, for lip products, of course, I'm going to recommend that you get a lipstick and a lip gloss. My favorite, And lastly, for lip products, of course, I'm going to recommend that you get a lipstick and a lip gloss. So one of my favorite lipsticks from the drugstore is the Maybelline In Bloom collection, I think it's called, and this is called Barely Bloomed, and it is just a beautiful nudie peach color. This is like an everyday type of shade. This is just what I gravitate towards, but lip products are so personal, so whatever you are kind of drawn to, whether that's like a nice light mauvey color or like a pink shade or maybe more like red or purple, go for that. But lip products are definitely something to experiment with, but if you're only going to get one, get just like a nice natural nude-ish type shade that is going to be kind of your lips but better. And then lip gloss as well. You can't go wrong with the NYX Butter Glosses. These are my absolute favorite glosses from the drugstore. Actually, maybe like my favorite glosses ever. No, I really like those Buxom ones. Anyways, the NYX Butter Glosses are amazing, and they do have a little bit of color in them. So even if you want to skip lipstick, you could definitely go for just a lip gloss and get a little bit of pigment. I've been loving Fortune Cookie. It is just such a beautiful nude shade, and I've also been really liking Vanilla Cream Pie lately, but they have such an array, like I said, and it is so personal, so just kind of pick what you are most drawn to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. I so appreciate you guys watching. It means so, so much to me, and so does subscribing, so please do so if you are new, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!